At 11:38 p.m. on a chilly Sunday night, police were dispatched to a 24-hour corner convenience store in a quiet neighborhood in Phoenix. A customer had walked in to find the clerk, Daniel Ortiz, 46, lying behind the counter with a single gunshot wound to the head. The cash register was open and some coins were scattered on the floor. The store's surveillance system had been ripped out, and the front camera was spray-painted. Despite the scene suggesting a robbery, detectives would quickly discover it was something far more sinister. Daniel Ortiz had been working the night shift at the store for over 6 years. He was known as quiet but kind, often giving out free coffee to regulars and chatting with late-night drivers. He had no criminal record, no debts, and no personal disputes that anyone knew of. His co-workers described him as someone who kept to himself, lived alone, and spent most of his off hours fixing up an old truck. His family, living in Yuma, said he had moved to Phoenix for a fresh start after a painful divorce. There was no immediate motive beyond robbery, but detectives weren't convinced it was random. The till had been opened, but a stack of $100 bills underneath the drawer had been untouched. Cigarettes, which robbers often grab, were still fully stocked. Surveillance DVRs were stolen, but only the one covering the counter area. Others in the stockroom and delivery exit were left intact. From the back camera, detectives saw a man in a blue delivery uniform, face obscured by a hoodie, entering through the employee entrance, not the front door. The footage was timestamped at 11:12 p.m., the exact window before Daniel was shot. Detectives tracked the company name on the uniform, Swift Bites Delivery, a third-party courier service for late-night snacks and tobacco. Daniel had apparently signed up for a trial delivery of a promotional item from Swift Bites that evening. But when investigators contacted Swift Bites, they were stunned to learn, "We don't offer store deliveries, and we never had a driver scheduled for that address." The uniform was either stolen or faked. Then came the chilling tip from Daniel's coworker. 2 weeks earlier, Daniel had mentioned someone acting strange during a delivery pickup. He said the guy stared too long like he knew him. Investigators checked Daniel A.'s phone records and discovered he'd received several calls from an unlisted number over the past month. They traced it to a burner phone registered at a gas station 20 miles away. Forensics retrieved partial prints from the spray-painted camera dome, and a match came back. The name, Eddie Ramos, 47, with a prior conviction for armed robbery in New Mexico. More digging revealed something deeper. Eddie and Daniel were cellmates 12 years ago in a state correctional facility. Daniel had testified against Eddie in exchange for early parole, something that hadn't been public knowledge. Now Eddie was back, and possibly out for revenge. Detectives put out an APB on Eddie Ramos. 3 days later, he was pulled over in a traffic stop outside Flagstaff. Inside his vehicle, they found a Swift Bites delivery uniform, a revolver matching the caliber used on Daniel, a partial map of the convenience store layout. With the back entrance circled a copy of Daniel's old prison photograph. Eddie denied everything, claiming coincidence. But the evidence was overwhelming. Faced with security footage, fingerprints, and the prison connection, Eddie eventually broke during interrogation. His voice was flat as he explained. He snitched. Cost me 3 more years inside. I waited. Took my time. Figured I'd catch him working some dead-end job, and I did. He had faked the Swift Bites delivery service, researched Daniel's workplace, and entered through the back door using a stolen key copy. He wanted Daniel to see him. He wanted the last face Daniel saw to be his. The trial took place in late 2021. Eddie Ramos was charged with first-degree murder, premeditated armed robbery, and tampering with evidence. Despite attempts by his defense to claim a spontaneous act of rage, his notebook of planning details destroyed any chance of leniency. The judge called the act cold and calculated vengeance. Eddie was found guilty on all charges.